You're going to see the media transition now from Biden is an apocalyptic, cataclysmic failure, which he is and which we all know. You're going to see a transition now to a focus on this airlift out of Afghanistan as if it's the greatest thing since Dunkirk. This is it. We are saving everyone. Yeah. Joe Biden is a hero. Joe Biden should walk down the street, carried palm fronds on him like we're back in ancient Egypt. Joe Biden should be lauded. There should be thrown at his feet fine fruits and wines. And he should bathe his feet in fancy oils. This is coming soon. Here's one of those sycophants first, a guy with no credibility whatsoever. But whenever a swamp hack needs someone to rescue them, the swamp hacks on either side of the aisle from the truth, they go to a guy like Matthew Dowd. Here's Matthew Dowd setting it up. And then I'll play afterwards Jen Psaki saying, Peppermint Patty with her whole, this is going to be a huge success. Here's Matthew Dowd suggesting that we should celebrate Joe Biden for the disaster he caused in Afghanistan. Check this out.
Well, as you probably are aware, I actually have lauded the president from the very beginning about Afghanistan. He was dealt a horrible situation. And as of today, he's done an extremely good job in this situation. There were many people over the last 7 days that said there's no possible way he could get 50,000 people out, no possible way. And that was the number people thought that had to get out. He's gotten out 70,000 people in the last 8 days, 70,000 people out of Afghanistan in the last days. And I actually think the president, for what he was dealt and what he's done over the course of the last week, should be congratulated on the way this was done. Now, there's many things left to handle over the course of this situation. I think the president's done unbelievable yeoman's work. And he's the first president in 4 presidents to actually get done what the American people wanted done in Afghanistan, which was get out.
This is, Guy just accurately stated, this is the Baghdad Bob of American political commentators. There are no troops in Baghdad. Remember Baghdad Bob? Troops right behind him in Baghdad. Remember that when we destroyed the Iraqi army in just a matter of days? There are no troops in Baghdad. You remember that?
Nothing to see here, please.
This is the Baghdad Bob of American commentators, Matthew Dowd. The guy doesn't have a lot of credibility, so there's no credibility to lose. So I guess he figures I'll be the first one to take my marching instructions from Jen Psaki, walk out and change it. Remember what the narrative is going to switch. I promise you, over the next few days, it's going to shift away from Biden's disastrous decisions, abandoning Bagram Air Base, having faith in the Afghan National Army, having faith in the Taliban, all of these terrible decisions not based on intelligence, but Biden's just awful instincts, which are always wrong. Now it's going to switch to the airlift and the rescue operation. Now, what's tragically hilarious about Matthew Dowd's infantile analysis here, again, this is not a very smart man, is he says, given everything he was dealt by who? Biden? Biden finds himself in Biden's situation because of who? Because of Biden. Joe Biden, in case Matthew Dowd doesn't know how the whole hierarchy of the executive branch works, Joe Biden is, in fact, the commander-in-chief of the military. This may be the first Matthew Dowd's hearing this. But the abandonment of Bagram Air Base and trusting that the Taliban would not take over Kabul, trusting them, which almost no serious person was telling him to do, was Biden's decision. So we have to airlift people out of out of Kabul rather than using Bagram, precisely because Biden abandoned Bagram and trusted the Taliban. What do you mean the cards Biden was dealt? And we love what he's doing now. What is he doing now? He's doing nothing. I've got video coming up in a second of Biden answering questions on Afghanistan yesterday. He's not doing anything. What do you mean what he was dealt? He dealt it. He dealt it. You know that old joke? You smelt it, dealt it. He dealt it and smelt it. That's right. It's Biden's thing.
It's right?
I know, childish, infantile. It's always fun. But it's true. It's Biden did it. He's the one who evacuated Bagram like an idiot and trusted the Taliban. And by the way, let me put a note because I don't want to forget to mention this during the radio show. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt the podcast, but they're both interrelated. In case any of you think, or you're being told by lunatics like Matthew Dowd, Baghdad Matthew, right? Oh, no, they didn't think. No one ever believed the Taliban, and they always knew the Taliban would take over Kabul. We just didn't think it was going to be that fast. Nonsense. Biden trusted the Taliban. How do we know that? They plan to keep over 600 people in the U.S. Embassy in Kabul. Biden actually believed that the Taliban would form some joint government, and that this was all going to be like around the campfire, s'mores roasting, singing campfire songs. Biden actually believed that. No serious person was telling him that. It was his own poor instincts. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Because now what they're going to say is, we expected this the whole time, and Biden's airlift thankfully saved people from what we expect. They did not expect it. They did not even plan to get the embassy workers out of Kabul. Because they had thought they were going to be able to stay because of Biden's poor judgment, thinking the Taliban would let them stay. Folks, do not let them rewrite history. Here, Dowd clearly got instructions from Peppermint Patty. Here she was yesterday. I mean, this is classic Baghdad Bob stuff. There are no troops in Iraq. There are no troops. Here's Jen Psaki yesterday. Baghdad Bertha, right? Up at the, she's, he left. He never laughs. It's got to be really funny for Guy to laugh. So he never laughs at anything. Joe does. He doesn't laugh at anything. So here's Jen Psaki, Baghdad Bertha, up there yesterday in the Brady press room, touting the success of the airlift, how wonderful this is. Keep in mind the whole time as you're hearing this, the only reason they need an emergency airlift is because Biden made the terrible decision to trust the Afghan army, trust the Taliban, and abandon Bagram. Check this out.
I would say that this is now on track, Peter, to be the largest airlift in U.S. history. And that is bringing American citizens out. It is bringing our Afghan partners out. It is bringing allies out. No, I would not say that is anything but a success.
This is new levels of astonishing. This is really like, as I say often, it's not that they're stupid people. They're not. It would almost be more comforting if they were, because then it's maybe not a matter of intent. Maybe it's just a matter of they don't have the capacity or intelligence to process it, right? They're not stupid people. They think you're stupid. There's a big difference. Don't confuse the two. Now, Biden may be stupid. I get that, but that's a different story. But Peppermint, no. She's not dumb. She thinks you're dumb. And so does Matthew Dowd. Watch the turn in events now. You're going to see it. Mark my words. This will be touted by the media as a huge success.